Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Welcome back to VALORANT Rostermania with many more confirmations coming out over the last 24 hours. Dapr has also given his opinion on the Sentinels team they have decided to build, saying it's not the team that he would have built, but he can't necessarily blame them picking up the world champions. Very much enjoyed your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you are new as always. I'd greatly appreciate it. It really helps out the channel. Thank you very much indeed for doing that one. Plenty to discuss. Firstly from Foot Esports, they confirmed that Ada Captain is going to be one of the new players for the new season. So yeah, all across the world, updates coming through thick and fast at the moment. This also from Talon Esports confirming their Thai team going forward. Lots of course, Twitter reaction to this, as is always the case. They're bringing the entire team here. And well, one of the key members, of course, is Patiphan. Of course, well, a player that was in VALORANT for quite some time, retired about this time last year to go back to Overwatch, and then has since made a return. So kind of confusing, really. But yeah, Sushi Boys, legendary name, as well as along with the rest of these guys. But yeah, Patiphan is returning again. Coach, staff will be announced later for the team. But yeah, Talent Esports building this Thai team, and it's quite interesting that Patiphan is actually making that return, right, after coming from Overwatch, I think, into VALORANT, then going back to Overwatch, then coming back to VALORANT. So yeah, I don't know exactly how the Overwatch 2 scene is looking, or how, obviously he thinks that it's better off coming to the VCT and competing in the Partnership League than it is grinding through the Overwatch 2 side again. But yeah, still, that is the plan, and pretty interesting stuff at that. Now, this is another thing to note, that supposedly another APAC kind of, franchise league player will be coming from the Overwatch League. So I'm hearing Patiphan is not the only OWL player coming to the APAC franchise league. Not exactly so well qualified to discuss who this might be. Apparently a potential Korean player, so it could be a pretty big deal. Yeah, we shall see. There's some replies here on who this might potentially be as well, but it maybe wouldn't be a massive surprise to see further transitions like this happening over the coming days and weeks as well. So stay tuned for sure on that one. And just to say this as well, because I'll have a look at the spreadsheet here in a second that Flink comes out with, because there are some additions and some tweaks and stuff. But as Kojo says, the team director for Fnatic, turn alpha blue. So blue on the spreadsheet effectively refers to confirmed, locked in, guaranteed, announced effectively. Now, Fnatic haven't announced AlphaGer's staying yet, but he says turn in blue. So pretty much confirming that Fnatic are going to keep AlphaGer, because they've announced Leo, they've announced that, I think Durka and Boaster are coming back. Chronicle has not yet been announced, but that's probably happening soon. And he reckons that, Alpha is for sure staying on the team as well. So yeah, to me, Fnatic have one of the scariest squads going into next season. There's no doubt about it. They are trying to build a powerhouse in that European side, and it's going to be a cracking event in Sao Paulo at the start of the season when all these teams actually come together, and we get to see who is actually the best in the world then, because even the world champions have a highly different roster going forwards, and two of their best players are now on Sentinels, and Dapr gives his thoughts on that here in a second. Speaking of some of the guys from the guild, of course, Leo was formerly on this team. Russ is now officially a free agent, very flexible as a player, all this type of stuff, so he's looking for options out there as well. It's always difficult when, it's interesting he's now a free agent, because maybe he was a restricted free agent over the last couple of months or so, but wasn't able to really be a full free agent where his contract is at an end, and they've let him explore further options. So, and it also is difficult at this point, because a lot of teams are now locked in, and even in tier 2, a lot of teams already have a reasonable idea what they want to go down the route of, but still then we don't even know which organizations are in tier 2 necessarily. So there's a lot still to be determined here, but Russ and many others are looking for offers probably in the tier 2 side, and whether guilds stay in VALORANT and compete in tier 2, that's another question as well. So yeah, many organizations will have to make that call relatively quickly if they want to form a team for next season's tier 2 scene. This also from ShahZaM. He was on the guard briefly. Interesting character, really. I know there's a lot of controversy about him and some of the NFT stuff he's done and all this, but he was there as a content guy and as a player briefly, but then got replaced and things have changed, and now he's going to be off the guard, as he says, now looking for future opportunities. 10 years of pro player across 4 titles in Nigeria, scouted top talent, so whether there's an option for him to step into kind of like a management role in a certain organization, but yeah, ShahZaM is going to be moving on from the guard, confirmed. This also from Slow, kind of former analyst for the Knights. He's going to be parting ways with them, and he's exploring options as well. So this seems to be that the era of the tier 2 situations right now, where these organizations are parting ways with certain players and talent and looking to bring them into another organization, or some of these players themselves, or even analysts or coaches, are looking for new offers. So just because a lot of the tier 1 teams are kind of set in stone doesn't mean there isn't a lot to be happening over the coming days and weeks still, especially with regards to the likes of BCJ. Many people have said, and I think for good reason, if there is one player that hasn't been confirmed to a team, doesn't look like they're going to get a spot on a team that deserves a spot. BCJ's got to be right near the top of that list, right? A fantastic initiator last season for Exet, finds himself now out of a team, it seems, entirely. We thought briefly he might be able to go to EG. That now looks like it's fallen through. And as he says, appreciate all the love. What's next to me is uncertain, but I'm here to play at the world stage and showcase everything I can do against the world's best. So, as he says, if I have to wait a year to get back there, so be it, right? So saying that, I guess, competing in Tier 2, keeping his name around there and then trying to wait to get a spot back, it's just really difficult for so many of these players because, look, we thought for a time there was going to be 6, 7, maybe even 8 North American franchise teams. We thought maybe there was going to be a 12-team league per region, and then 8 of those could be North American. Turns out there was 5 in the end, and it really has restricted many opportunities for players like BCJ, but also like Dapr we'll see here in a second. Quick note of this, of course, the most updated Flynn spreadsheet here, so he's actually added flags to this, which I thought was really rather nice. But yes, as we can see, he's made Alphager blue based on the tweet that we just saw, so pretty much confirming that is indeed the case. We can see what Loud are up to. We can see on the left-hand side that still Valen, Superman, that's the discussion there, with Ethan probably going to Evil Genius here. So these are all the NA rosters on the left-hand side, of course, rather small. You guys cannot even see it on that one, and probably just about see it now if you really squint your eyes or whatever. But yeah, these are the only 5 NA teams on the left-hand side, and there are big name players going to miss out here. There is, of course, bench spots on these teams that may be up for discussion, and if you are on the bench, can you compete in Tier 2? We've seen some players that potentially can be in that situation. But one of the questions that remains for me is that going to happen to Dapr? Because we saw that Sick become the bench player for Sentinels, but Dapr said he had an offer to be the bench player for Sentinels, and now that may or may not still be the case. Now, he was mentioning on stream actually a couple of interesting things. Firstly, as I kind of hinted at yesterday, that yes, Ascension, he will consider going to Tier 2 and try and make it through Ascension, that tournament, to get through to franchising for next year and the year after, regardless, by effectively qualifying for getting into that partnership league. But that will only happen, and he'll only play it if he does believe that he can find a team capable of winning, which is still far from guaranteed as well. And then the other discussion is around the new Sentinels roster that has been formed. He says that, like, look, obviously it's not what he would have done. He would have put himself on that team, but he can't necessarily blame them for the decision that they made.
I'll say, I wish to see you in a franchise team and learn a lot from you, and a fan of you and how you play. I appreciate it, Green. Hopefully shit works out. I got the franchising in CSGO, like quote unquote franchising. It wasn't necessarily franchising. I kind of got the same end of the stick here. It's kind of life. It's whatever. That's esports. I'm not gonna be like pity party. Who the f cares? No one's gonna care other than me. And then what's the point, right? You like the direction Sentinels going in? Not my choice. I don't care. They must think it's good. They signed them. They're good players, bro. They just won the championship. To Poland. The true team of Marv. Yeah, Marv and Sinatraa. We're starting a team. Ascension, maybe? Maybe, bro. The way I'd want to go to Ascension is if I think we could win, right? Like, that's literally the only way I'd go to Ascension is I think we could win Ascension. And if I don't find a team that I think could win Ascension or like I'm confident, I'll just stay as a sub for Sentinels and stream and, you know, do my stuff.
So I think understandably Dapper's going to be like, well, look, that isn't the best team they could have formed. I'm sure that the best Sentinels team, in his opinion, would have been one with him on the team somewhere or another. But he says, look, he can't exactly say, well, you know, they made a bad decision here because they picked up a couple of world champions. But he definitely doesn't seem to think that's the best team they could have formed. But whether that would have been himself plus 4 of those guys, whether that had been himself plus 1, plus 3 of those guys, tough to say. But it really is difficult for Dapr because it felt like he was going to be there. He was talking on stream that he had a spot. The Sentinels were going to keep him. Someone in his chat said a couple of weeks ago, like, yeah, I hope you're staying on Sentinels, Dapr. And he said, yeah, don't worry about that. Like, it's all good. I'm still going to be here next season. Turns out he maybe could still be there on the bench, but still, we don't know now because Sick is going to be their substitute player. So where is Dapr going to go? If even anywhere at all. So definitely tweet your thoughts on that one in the comment section below. Other players, just to note as well, real quick, the likes of Xander. We thought maybe that Xander could be involved in 100 Thieves to some degree. degree or another. Still been playing with a lot of these guys, in fairness. Actually managed to drop 50 last night in a 19-17 win, which is kind of remarkable. Even you've got the likes of Ban and Net and Asuna in this lobby themselves. And, well, we're taken down by Xander in the end for the victory. So pretty impressive performance. But yeah, Xander, another big name that surely will need to find a spot somewhere or another. But very much enjoyed your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you are new. Take care. And I'll see you next time.